Hello and welcome to class. In today's class, we'll be looking at how to calculate oxidation number. Now, what is oxidation number? The oxidation number of an element is the electrical charge assigned to an atom of the element in a compound in accordance with some prescribed set of rules. Now, to get the oxidation number of an element, it is important we recall what valency is. Now, what is valency? Valency is the combining power of an atom of an element, and the valency of elements are derived from the groups under which these elements fall. For instance, elements in group 1 have a valency of +1, elements in group 2 have a valency of +2, elements in group 3 have a valency of +3, elements in group 4 have a valency of +4 or -4, elements in group 5 have a valency of -3, elements in group 6 have a valency of -2, elements in group 7 have a valency of -1, and elements in group 8 have a valency of 0. Now, the valency of these elements depend on the number of electrons in their outermost shell. For the elements with a positive valency, it means that these elements lose electrons in order to form ions, while those with the negative valency gain electrons in order to form negative ions. Now, positive ions are called cations, while negative ions are called anions. Now, a close look at this diagram shows that there is an element that is the central element. Now, this central element is nitrogen. Now, since nitrogen belongs to group 5, nitrogen has a valency of -3. However, the oxidation number of nitrogen here depends on the interaction between nitrogen and the 4 hydrogen atoms surrounding nitrogen. Now, take a look at this diagram too. Now, a close look at this figure shows that phosphorus is the central element. Now, phosphorus belongs to group 5, and that means it also has a valency of -3. However, the oxidation number of phosphorus in this compound would depend on the interaction between phosphorus and the oxygen atoms surrounding it. So, how do we assign oxidation numbers to the central elements in compounds? There are certain rules which we must follow. Now, rule number 1 says the oxidation number of an element in an uncombined state is 0. For example, the oxidation number of hydrogen, oxygen, and sodium atom in a free state or uncombined with another element is 0. This means that the oxidation number of sodium is 0. The oxidation number of oxygen is also 0. The oxidation number of elements in their uncombined state is 0. So also the oxidation number of diatomic molecules such as chlorine, they are all 0. Rule number 2 says in most compounds containing hydrogen, the oxidation number of hydrogen is +1 except in hydrides where it is -1. Now, hydrogen is a very unique element that belongs to a group of its own, and that's because hydrogen, which has 1 electron, is able to lose 1 electron to form hydrogen ion, and it is also able to gain 1 electron to form hydride ion. Now, hydrogen ion is positively charged, while hydride ion is negatively charged. So the oxidation number of hydrogen is +1, except in hydrides where we have an oxidation number of -1. Rule number 3 states that in most compounds containing oxygen, the oxidation number of each oxygen atom is -2. So the oxidation number of each atom of oxygen is -2. Rule number 4 states that the oxidation number of each halogen is -1, except when bonded with fluorine, which is the most electronegative element. So take note of this, fluorine is the most electronegative element on the periodic table. For instance, in IF7, each fluorine atom is in oxidation state of -1, and iodine is in oxidation state of +7. For halogens, they have a general oxidation state of -1. Rule number 5 states that the sum of all the oxidation numbers of elements in a compound is 0. And with this simple relationship, the oxidation number of each element in a compound can be calculated. Now, let's take a practical example with carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, to calculate the oxidation number of the central element, and this is carbon dioxide, carbon is the central element. How do we calculate the oxidation number of carbon? Now, recall that the oxidation number of oxygen is -2. And this -2 is assigned to each atom of oxygen. Now, to calculate the oxidation number of carbon in this compound, I am going to equate the oxidation number to 0 because the sum of the oxidation numbers of elements in a compound is 0. Therefore, I have carbon, which is the element with the unknown oxidation number, plus. Now, oxygen is -2, so I have -2. But I have 2 atoms of oxygen, so I'm multiplying it by 2 and I'm equating it to 0 because the sum of all the oxidation numbers of an element in a compound is 0. Now, C, -2 times 2 is equal to -4, equal to 0. Therefore, the value of C is equal to +4. Hence, the oxidation number of carbon in CO2 is +4, and the IUPAC name is thus carbon 4 oxide. Now, calculate the oxidation number of sulfur in H2SO4. To calculate the oxidation number of sulfur, recall that the sum of all oxidation number of elements in a compound is 0. Therefore, I have 2 times +1 plus the oxidation number of sulfur, which is unknown, plus 4 times, now oxygen is -2, so I have -2, and I'm equating everything to 0. Therefore, 2 times +1 is 2, plus S, 4 times -2 is -8, equal to 0. In collecting like terms, I have S is equal to 8 minus 2. Therefore, S is equal to 6. Therefore, the oxidation number of sulfur in this compound is 6. But recall that sulfur is in group 6 and has a valency of -2. Now, how do I go about naming this compound? I'm going to name this compound as hydrogen tetraoxosulfate 6. Now, calculate the oxidation number of manganese in KMnO4. And potassium is in group 1, and potassium has a valency of +1. Manganese is a central element, so I'm looking for the oxidation number of manganese. Therefore, Mn is unknown, and then oxygen has an oxidation number of -2. In calculating this now, I'm going to have 1 plus Mn plus 4 times -2, which is for oxygen, equal to 0, because the sum of all the oxidation numbers of elements in a compound is 0. Now 1 plus Mn, 4 times -2 is -8, equal to 0. Therefore, Mn is equal to 7. Since the oxidation number of manganese is 7, this compound is named as potassium tetraoxomanganate 7. Rule number 6. In simple ions, that is ions containing one atom, the oxidation number is equal to the charge on the ion. For example, in the ion Al3+, the oxidation number is 3. So I have Al3+, the oxidation number is simply equal to the charge. I have Cl negative, the oxidation number is simply equal to the charge. Rule number 7. In a complex ion, that means ion consisting of more than one element, the oxidation number is the algebraic sum of all the oxidation numbers of all the elements in the ion. But in this case, you would equate to the charge of the ion. So in calculating the oxidation number of sulfur in SO4 2 negative, now take note of the fact that this is not a compound but an ion. If it were a compound, I would equate the oxidation number to 0. But in this case, it is an ion. Therefore, I am going to equate the oxidation number to -2. Now, let's calculate the oxidation number of sulfur. I have S plus oxygen is -2 multiplied by 4. And I'm equating this to the charge. So I have S, -2 times 4 is -8, equal to -2. Therefore, S is equal to 8 minus 2, and S is equal to 6. So this becomes tetraoxosulfate 6 ion. Always remember that in complex ions, equate the entire sum of the oxidation numbers to the charge of the ion. Let's look at another example. We have MnO4 negative. In this case, I'm equating the algebraic sum to -1. Therefore, manganese, which is Mn, plus oxygen is -2 multiplied by 4, and this is equal to -1. Therefore, manganese is equal to 7. So the oxidation number of manganese in this complex ion is 7.